Hi everyone, let's talk rage. Let's talk anger. Rage, what is it? So according to Macquarie's Thesaurus, rage is angry fury, violent anger, to show and feel violent anger. Now, why have I chosen to speak to you about rage today? Because rage is at the bottom, suppressed rage is at the bottom of so much illness today. And as a society, we're not allowed to feel rage, anger, violent, angry thoughts, feelings, emotions. And remember, emotions are just energy in motion. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It simply changes form. So what starts to happen when we do this healing work, what starts to happen is we become the alchemist of our feelings. We start to allow ourselves to feel our feelings. The suppression of our feelings is what actually causes dis-ease in the body. What is suppressed rage? How does it manifest? Let me tell you my story. In me, it manifested as fibromyalgia, inflammation in my body. My body turned in on itself. So great was my suppressed rage. And in my teen years, because in my family, the only one that was allowed to express rage or anger was my father. And so I was beaten if I ever dared to express any form of anger or resentment or anything like that. So I learned to suppress it, to turn it all inwards. So then later in life, when there were several stresses along the way, after my marriage split up, I actually was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Precursor to that, I had glandular fever. What is glandular fever? Feeling unloved, longing for love. What is fibromyalgia? It's a inflammatory response in the body. It's an autoimmune disease. It's inflammation. So I was inflamed on the inside. And it wasn't until I learned to transmute and alchemize. What is alchemy? It's a noun, a medieval chemical philosophy having as its asserted aims that the transmutation of base metals into gold, the discovery of the panacea, and the preparation of the elixir of longevity. So now, the alchemist can change lead into gold. So in our bodies, we can become the alchemist. We can change the heavy feelings, the dense, heavy feelings like the metal of lead, into the precious, much lighter metal of gold. How do we do that? That's what I'm going to talk to you about. A seemingly magical power or process of transmuting. An imaginary art which aims to transmute the base metals into gold to find the panacea or universal remedy for diseases, etc. So focuses on transmutation. So how and why am I speaking about this? Because a lot of what's happening for us in the area of rage and anger is a baseline trauma. This beautiful book, The Myth of Normal by Gabor Mate, in it, he speaks about the medical work he did, taught me, and I'm just reading now, and as research has amply shown that painful things happen to many children, from outright abuse or severe neglect in the family of origin to the poverty or racism or oppression that are daily features of many societies. The consequences can be terrible, far more common than usually acknowledged. Such traumas give rise to multiple symptoms and syndromes and to conditions diagnosed as pathology, physical or mental, a linkage that remains almost invisible to the eyes of mainstream medicine and psychiatry, except in specific diseases like post-traumatic stress disorder. This kind of injury has been called by some capital T trauma. It underlies much of what gets labelled as mental illness. It also creates a predisposition to physical illness by driving inflammation elevating physiological stress and impairing the healthy functioning of genes, among many other mechanisms. So a lot of my research on my healing journey has caused me to look at what I was suppressing, why I was suppressing it, and the power that I was creating disease in my body because of it. So other manifestations of suppressed rage: high blood pressure, kidney problems, bladder problems, being pissed off, bladder infections, recurring bladder infections. There's usually an underlying trauma related to anger on some level, at a childhood level, that was never actually processed. So other things can be kidney stones, adrenal fatigue, basically a lot of urinary tract problems. High blood pressure my father had, he also passed a kidney stone. Very painful. Why am I talking about this? Because I work obviously with clients that have a lot of suppressed rage, usually women, but men as well. And what happens when we drink alcohol? The truth comes out, doesn't it? That's why we find so much violence with alcohol, because the filter is no longer there to keep it under wraps, and it's always been there. So for me, with my inflammation, being inflamed on the inside, also manifested as a teenager in terrible cystic acne, and then going through my divorce in the end stages of my marriage, that cystic acne came again. So that's literally anger exploding and erupting through the skin because it's so suppressed, because I never used my voice. In this healing journey, I'll share with you a tool, see if it works for you. If it works for you, please pop a comment in below and let me know. And remember, this is all practice. We need to do this on a regular basis so it becomes part of how we allow our bodies to process. Our bodies are what feel. This is how we feel, is through the body. So we can't think our way out of inflammation, but we can feel our way out of inflammation. I'm living proof of it, that I no longer suffer any fibromyalgia symptoms at all. In fact, I have more energy now than I've had in my whole entire life. The feeling is actually the healing. A tool that I use, which I love, is giving myself permission. It's okay to feel angry in my body. It's okay to feel rage in my body. It's okay to feel this way. And the more permission I give myself to feel it, I acknowledge it. It can shift and move. I'm feeling shifts and moves already. It's in the practice of allowing ourselves to actually feel what is something that is natural, that society tells us is dark or the shadow. And I hear a lot of people talk about, the shadow work. For me, the shadow work is integrating and recognizing that we live in a world of duality and polarity. We live in a world of yin and yang. Without the dark, we can't have the light. So rather than suppress the dark or do the shadow work and totally disregard the fact that we have both in us, dark and light, yin and yang, it's more, for me, the integration of the shadow, the integration, because on the light side of anger and rage, that is fuel. That can be fuel. That is energy that we can use for success in business, for success in relationships, for success in study, for success in family. We can choose. For me, I chose a completely different path to my family because of my rage. I have rage to thank for my tenacity. I have rage to thank for the fact that I don't allow anything to stop me, that I find ways around things, that I never give up, that I'm strong, that I'm healthy, that I've pursued this life of fitness and health. And I have rage to thank that for. That's a feeling that I acknowledge. And I use the fuel that it provides me in a healthy way. So this is energy that we can use in a healthy way to make our lives better. So just sitting with it, this process, it's okay to feel anger in my body. It's okay to feel rage in my body. It's okay. I give you permission to feel it so you can heal it. And so 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, whatever you can give yourself to feel all of your feelings. I'm talking about rage today because it's been in my periphery and I'm helping clients deal with it. I'm helping clients look at it and perceive it in a different way rather than feeling shame for actually feeling it, which is what society tells us, that it's wrong to feel it. And so I would like to give you these tools to help you to process your rage, your anger. Start to feel it, and in the feeling of it, you'll see that it is trauma, that similar to what I just read out. It is trauma, and it's nobody's fault. Everyone's just doing to the next generation what was done to them. Each generation tries to improve. We are the generation here to break a lot of these patterns, these programs. We are the generation to look at things differently. We are the generation to allow ourselves to finally feel so we can heal. I hope this has been a contribution. Bring some light to that darkness, that shadow that may be within you that you have been suppressing or shaming. How about I just give you the invitation that you allow yourself to sit with it and to feel it and to acknowledge it and to see that it is just energy in motion. And if you allow it to move through your body, you can alchemize it. You can become the alchemist in your life, and you can transmute the lead, which is the shadow, these heavy, heavy, heavy feelings and emotions, into the gold, which is the precious metal. And you can use it as fuel like I do. And you can transmute it and transcend. So let me be your invitation to start to look at things in a different way, to start to look at your feelings in a different way, to allow yourself to feel them, to allow them to move in your body so that they don't get stuck and create dis-ease the way it did for me. However, nothing is by accident. Because of that happening to me and me creating that, I'm now doing the work that I do now. So it was a gift in my life. So drop a comment in below. Let me know if this works for you. Let me know once you've practiced it a while. And perhaps this is your invitation to feel for the first time. And please do be kind. Give it a thumbs up for me. And I would love you to subscribe to my channel while I provide some more of these insights from my own life, from my studies, from the decades and decades of research that I've done to help myself heal and now help my clients heal. And I would just love it if you would be so kind as to support me. You can support me on Ko-fi/becdtransformation. I'll put the link in below. For as little as $5, you can buy me a cup of coffee to say thanks. You're helping me. That'd be great. So I wish you a beautiful day. This is Beck from becdtransformation. Bye.